What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back with another offseason rebuild, once again circling back to some teams that never made the play into the playoffs, and this is the last team actually. So until another team gets eliminated, this is the last offseason rebuild we're doing, but we might have a team eliminated over the weekend or early as next week, we'll see. But today, of course, we're talking about the Houston Rockets, who definitely fought for that last play-in spot until they unfortunately lost it to the Golden State Warriors. But let's just go ahead, jump in, and continue what the Rockets are doing to this Houston Rockets offseason rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Today is a good day, man. Not only do we have some game threes tonight, we have the NFL draft starting tonight, and my Commanders pick at number 2, and I cannot wait to see who we draft. Speaking of number 2, though, we have had every single game 2 or every single series played 2 games. Like I said, some game 3 start tonight, but only 3 series are tied 1-1, which is a little disappointing. But outside of that, been some pretty solid playoff games thus far. There's also been some blowouts, of course, don't get me wrong. But let's go ahead and see who wins the championship really quickly, and then we can focus on the Houston Rockets and what we're doing with them today. So the Knicks and the Nuggets are in the finals, and the Knicks going to win a championship, man. Obviously, the Knicks had that crazy game the other night with the 76ers. They play the 76ers tonight. If the 76ers, this is a must-win game for the 76ers, especially after what Embiid was saying, that we're going to win this series. Philadelphia, you better win tonight. But outside of that, enough talking about these other teams. We're talking about the Rockets today. So it all does start with the draft lottery, but unfortunately for this video, the Rockets pick is only top 4 protected. So we have to get extremely lucky to even keep our draft selection here. But the Houston Rockets, they have one of the best young cores in the NBA. Actually, before the season started, I did a video, our podcast with Eric over on Hoops Crush, links in the description below, that we ranked like our best young cores in the NBA. And I had the Rockets number 1. I do believe they have one of the best young cores in the NBA. Now, they have tried to supplement that with bringing in some veterans like Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks to make a play and run. Not sure I totally agreed with it, but, you know, they did it, and it is what it is now. They're here now. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm obviously mainly prioritizing Şengün, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green. Like, those are the 3 guys. Jalen Green, of course, was someone that was potentially going to be sent out of here, was not very good until he really came on towards the end of the season, especially after Şengün got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see if they think that's going to continue with Şengün healthy, or did they trade Jalen Green at the peak of his powers? I don't know. It'll be interesting, but apparently they tried to trade him for Mikal Bridges and their, some of the Nets draft picks back, which, by the way, Brooklyn, if that is true, again, you're stupid for not accepting that, and you just saved the Rockets once again. But let's get to the lottery. I've done enough talking. Let's see if our pick does end up getting lucky and falling into the top 4. I imagine it won't, but you never really know. What is the projection? What pick? Or I don't even know. I don't even see where our pick is projected to be. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. So, Rockets via Brooklyn. Which actually, we have the Nets pick. I totally forgot about that. So we actually get pick 2. That's awesome. And then our pick ends up going to, is it the, I don't know where our pick went. Oh, there it is. Or Mavericks via Houston, which should actually be the Oklahoma City Thunder, not the Mavericks, but whatever. So we got number 2, though, via the Nets, which is nice because obviously, and then the Warriors jumped up to pick 3, which is kind of wild. As a Blazers fan, that'd be super unlucky because we have their pick, top 4 protected. But whatever. So Ime Udoka is the head coach. We're going to leave that the way it is. I got to fill out these 3 spots. I'll probably fix that Mavericks pick really quickly. It's supposed to go to the Thunder. And then other than that, we're going to get straight into, figuring out what we're going to do next, especially who we're drafting at number 2. It honestly would not surprise me whatsoever if the Rockets try to make like a superstar trade this offseason. It wouldn't shock me. Do I think that's the right way to go about things? I don't think so. I really do believe they should believe in like Amen Thompson, Şengün to see what those 2 guys can develop into, especially Şengün, man. That dude was phenomenal for them until he got hurt, of course. And if Jalen Green could keep up what he was doing last year as well, that's a bonus as well. But I'm actually not sure who we're going to draft at number 2. I don't really have an idea. We're just going to go ahead and see, I guess, who goes number 1. So Nikola Topic goes 1, to Detroit. So we get to pick a number 2. And obviously, Alex Sarr is probably the best player to take here. Now, I feel like I get him quite often, which is why I'm tempted not to take him. But at the same magnitude, I feel like if you're the Rockets, like, you got to take him, right? Like, I'm not trying to bore you guys, but man, he is here. Probably one of the best players in this draft class, if not the best player in this draft class. I mean, I feel like we got to take him, right? We could take Donovan Kling and Zach Reset, right? But like, realistically speaking, if Alex Sarr was on the board at number 2 and the Rockets don't necessarily have like a primary need right now, I think I got to take him. And I hate to do that, but I mean, it's the obvious choice here. We got to take Alex Sarr. So welcome to Houston. And now we have a 2nd round pick. And we are going to probably just let the assistant GM take care of that because I don't recognize any of the names. So, yeah, we once again got the best player in the draft class. If he's at number 2, I think if you're the Rockets, you're definitely taking him here. And we'll sign those 2 guys as well. So, Jae'Sean Tate, I am going to decline. Jabari and Tari Eason, we're going to accept, of course. Qualifying offers, we have a few free agents to worry about, but I'm not obviously concerned with any of them. And then free agency, we do have Jae'Sean Tate, who's a free agent. LeBron James is a free agent as well. And we have the money to sign someone if we truly wanted to. But I don't know if I'll sign anybody. I mean, we kind of have a full rotation as it is. This team is already kind of set in stone. Although I don't want to just sit here and not do anything because I know this Rockets team is probably going to be good next year because 2K loves young teams. So I definitely still want to try to do something here, but I don't want to force an issue either. But we'll figure it out. Let's find out what the best, plan of action would be going forward. Today's video is brought to you by DGF's Optimizer. If you're playing on apps such as PrizePick, Underdog, or any other DFS app, having a tool like this is so clutch to finding good plays without having to do any research whatsoever. So basically, right now, if we come on the board, you have a few good plays on the board, but my favorite one by far right now is Kelly Oubre over 4.5 rebounds. As you can see, almost every single book is heavily favoring the over, and I found that play within 2 seconds. A bunch of data points on that, and one of my favorite books to look at, Pinnacle, is also minus 140 odds on Oubre to go over 4.5 rebounds. So I absolutely love this play. I would plug and play it, and I would attach it to whatever else I can find. So, for example, Nikola Jovic under 5.5 rebounds. Another good play I wouldn't mind plugging in. Aaron Nesmith over 4.5 rebounds. You get how this works. So you basically find these plays, plug and play them. It's that simple. If you want to check out this tool, link is down in the description below. 25% off your first month when you use code Crushables. I absolutely swear by using this tool, I don't place entries without using this tool anymore. If you want to check out my results thus far and, if this is actually worth it, this is what it's, turned into for me using this tool. It's absolutely clutch. Like I said, links in the description below. And of course, I'm also partnered with PrizePicks, which is where I use this tool a lot. PrizePicks, also a DFS app that you guys probably know about by now. But basically how it works, you choose between 2 to 6 players. 2 players being 3 times your entry. All the 6 players being 25 times your entry. So basically, you could choose from NBA or any other sport, all kinds of stats to choose from. You can go, between 2 to 6 players, like I said. If you wanted to go over to the popular tab and say Josh Hart over 13.5 points and combine it with something that's popular on NHL right now, let's say we wanted goalie saves on Andre Velisky or whatever. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that if you wanted to, or you can come, you go all the way to esports if you really wanted to. You can come to freaking tennis. Like, the possibilities are endless over here on PrizePicks. So if you want to check out PrizePicks, link is also down in the description below. Use code Crushables. They match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. So check out both of these tools, especially if you are someone who plays on DFS apps. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So to me, I think the first point of action is to just move guys around. So first and foremost, we're going to move Alex Sarr to power forward just because obviously, they already traded for Steven Adams. They just got him. So I don't think it makes sense to just move him already. I'm going to slide Tari Eason to small forward now. So he's going to go to small forward. And then secondary position, he can still play power forward. So I'm basically just moving things over at this point. Ahmed Thompson, Jalen Green is right now, and then Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason's our small forward rotation with Cameron Whitmore. So here's your power forward rotation, and here's your center rotation. Eventually, we'll probably move Alex Sarr back to backup 5. And then we're going to slide Ahmed Thompson to backup point guard at this point. So he will go down, but I'm going to move him to backup point guard. I think I eventually want him to be my starting point guard anyway. So if he can develop in that point guard role, that's kind of where I want him anyway. And then the only other thing we could do now is we could slide Cameron Whitmore to the 2, but I think I'll just play him at backup shooting guard as a small forward. So we're not going to sign anyone in free agency. What a boring offseason, right? Like, we didn't do anything. And again, I can see the Rockets being way more aggressive than I was this offseason, but I kind of like the slow approach with this team. This team is already very young. Young core is going to blossom in itself. And then eventually we can make like another big trade potentially to try to push this team over the top with maybe some star that becomes available because we have the assets to do so. We have some young players. Like, there is a lot to like here when it comes to Houston. But it's just a matter of the young players breaking out around some of the vets they have right now with Brooks and Fred VanVleet. But let's get into next season. Let's go ahead and see where we end up. Are we going to be a play-in team this time around? We're going to be a straight-up playoff team. It'll be interesting to see under Ime Udoka what we could turn the squad into. So Power King is going to land us 14th overall. 3.5 defense. Obviously, I think we got to move that. We're going to go ahead and go to a balanced system. And then let's move this to balance. So obviously the player we're building around right now is definitely Alperen Şengün. He is the guy that's kind of who we're trying to model. Maybe we try to model ourselves after the Denver Nuggets. Some people are saying Şengün's baby Jokic or whatever. So maybe we're trying that. And we can turn Jalen Green into a Jamal Murray or something along the lines of that. But Ahmed Thompson's off the bench right now, and here is your 10-man rotation. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm actually really cool with how this looks so far. So the only other thing I want to do is look at shot tendencies. So Jalen Green is a 90, which is great. I wanted to make sure Şengün's shot tendency is highest because I want him to be the guy. I still want him to be the guy. So we're going to make sure he shoots a lot more than Jalen Green, potentially. And then that will be good. I think that looks fine. We'll leave it like that. So I want Şengün and Jalen Green to be the two that score the most here. We're going to see how this season goes. I'm kind of expecting to be a playoff team. Like I said, 2K loves young teams. I don't know if there's going to be a trade I make at the deadline. I may not be that pushy or too soon, but trust me. What is Fred VanVleet's contract, by the way? I'm pretty sure it expires this offseason. So yeah, we might look into using that money to make like a big trade potentially. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead. Some way this season. We'll see how we're doing at the deadline. Maybe I make a big trade at the deadline. Maybe I don't. It all depends on just how this, how the team is doing. So Nikola Jokic ends up winning MVP. Rookie of the Year goes to Nikola Topic. Ahmed Thompson wins 6th Man of the Year. So that's great to see. He averaged 10, 7, and 3 off the bench. So that's fantastic to see that our young point guard is blossoming and developing. Gives us some confidence going forward with going with him. Now, unfortunately, as we know, Ahmed Thompson, not that great of a shooter. So if we're going to have him be our franchise point guard, we're going to have to surround him with shooting. He might eventually develop into an okay shooter, which I definitely think is possible. Also wins most improved player. So he definitely blossomed on the scene, which gives us confidence to maybe move on from Fred VanVleet this offseason. We did end up making the playoffs with the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. As I mentioned, I wasn't too surprised by this result just because obviously the Rockets extremely good. Young players are extremely loved in 2K, but Şengün averaged 19, 7, and 5. Jalen Green 21, 14 from Fred VanVleet, 11 from Tari Easton, 10 from Brooks, and then 10 from Cameron Whitmore, 10 and 7 from Jabari, and 10 and 7 and 6 from Ahmed Thompson. So let's go ahead and see if we can go on a run here early on in this rebuild. I highly doubt it, but you never know. So we're going to shrink this down to a 9-man rotation, and we're just going to simply see what happens. Somebody current round against Dallas, and we are going to lose in 7 in the first round. So that sucks. So Dallas beats us. GG's, whatever. So let's go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship. You got Denver and Boston, and the Nuggets go on to win the championship. Nikola Jokic is your Finals MVP. The LeBron James is retiring a Detroit Piston, so I don't know why he does that all the time, but whatever. So let's go straight to lottery night. I don't know if we have another lottery pick in this draft. If we did, that's obviously extremely clutch. We're projected not only Washington's pick at 1, which I believe is protected, but also projected Brooklyn's pick. So yeah, we're probably going to have a top pick in this draft. Ends up being number 3 via Brooklyn. So we have the 3rd overall pick in this draft. So we get to add another potential young player here. And I believe our pick gets swapped. So yeah, they get 26. So Washington, I know for a fact that we don't get to keep this pick. So let's go ahead and send this to Washington. I believe it's like lottery protected next year or top 10 protected or something like that. So we can do that really quickly. All right. So now we need to figure out, are we drafting here again and adding another young piece to this team, or are we making a trade here on draft night? Because we have some salary used at our disposal, especially if we accept Fred VanVleet's team option, which I wish 2K would give you the option to accept options before the draft. But yeah, I think I got to entertain the idea of trading pick number 3 because we have so many young players as it is that it may not be a bad idea to just kind of go all in on something right now. So I don't know. And also something that also kind of caught my attention is, yeah, again, like, I don't know if this would be possible, but Jason Tatum is about to be a free agent. Ime Udoka, of course, and Jason Tatum, Ime Udoka used to coach him. Is there any possible way that Tatum would leave Boston, especially if they can't get over the hump? I don't think so. I don't think that's something that's going to happen, but you never really know. Tatum doesn't strike me as a guy that's like, okay, I'm out of here. We can't get it done or something like that. So, like, that doesn't, like, again, Jaylen Brown's also someone who has a connection with Ime Udoka, of course, as well. So, yeah, I could trade for Jaylen Brown, but I think I've done that before, so I'm going to try to stay away from that. So yeah, Jason Tatum, kind of an idea I have in my head right now if we just try to sign him in free agency straight up. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of things running through my head right now and what we could do, but I guess I'm going to think it over really quickly and I'll let you know my decision on draft night. So nothing pops out at me right now at this very second, but Cooper Flag does go to Chicago. Ace Bailey goes to Oklahoma City. So I think this pick is easy. I think we take best player available. We're taking Dylan Harper here with this selection. So we're adding another point guard. So welcome to Houston, my friend. I'm pretty happy with that selection. I believe we're in the 2nd round now, so I'll let the assistant GM take care of that. So I don't know if Dylan Harper's going to be here throughout the video, but we, in my opinion, have the assets to trade for anybody we want, honestly. Now, Fred VanVleet's interesting because I could accept this and try to use this contract to trade him away. But I just feel like at this point in the new CBA, if the Rockets have a chance to get off this contract, I have to imagine they're going to, right? Like, I have to imagine. So as much as I think it's possible, I'm going to decline that. $45 million is very expensive, especially since we're going to have to pay Jalen Green this offseason, I think. But yeah, I'm declining that, unfortunately. So we're moving on from that. Şengün is also a free agent, which I wasn't even aware of. So Jalen Green and Şengün are both free agents. So yeah, I think it made a lot of sense to move on for Fred VanVleet's salary. Again, Tatum is on the table, and I would love to sign him, but that would mean moving on from both Jalen Green and Şengün, and I just can't do that. That's not a sacrifice I'm willing to take. So I think we, lock both of them up on the contracts they deserve. They're both going to get paid a bunch of money. We're going to sign both of them. That means maybe renouncing Fred VanVleet. I don't know if I have to. If I can bring him back, I'm open to it, but we did just draft Dylan Harper. Does it give me the ability to re-sign him? It does. So at $22 million, do we want to re-sign Fred VanVleet is the question. Like, yeah, it would be nice to have that salary to make a trade, but right now it's Amen Thompson, Harper, Jalen Green, Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks, Cameron Whitmore. We have Brooks' salary as well. Jabari Smith, Alex Sarr, and then Jock Landale right now is our backup center, which I'm not obviously, set in stone on that. But, man, Jabari Smith Jr., how did he do last year? Shot 33% from three. Just absolutely not good. He's on the last year of his rookie deal as well. I low-key want to try and make a big move here, man. We have the assets to do so. We could re-sign Fred VanVleet if we want to. I don't know who I'm looking for in particular, but I feel like the sky is the limit on who we could get right now. So, I mean, we have so many guys we could throw into trade right now that would immediately get us something, right? So, I'm going to try. And I got to make sure it makes sense next to Şengün, like I said. But I'm going to try to see if I can make a gigantic trade here. I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if anything's going to make sense, but we're going to look. All right, so I might get a little crazy here, but I'm going to try it anyway. I've already been talking about Jason Tatum quite often. It's not like I often have the opportunity to trade for Tatum. And again, the idea of Tatum wanting out of Boston, right now, it doesn't make any sense. It does not. But let's just say years down the line, and again, Tatum doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would do this, but I'm going to try it anyway. This is more than likely not going to work, but I'm going to try to see if I can pry Tatum away in some type of sign and trade scenario with the Celtics right now. We have so many guys that I think we could throw at Boston that maybe they would consider it. This Nets pick is good. This Nets pick also 2-star as well. So I feel like we have the ability to maybe pull this off. I would throw, so I threw Jabari in here. I threw Dylan Brooks, threw Dylan Harper, this 2026 first, this 2028 or 2027, and then this first. I don't know if they would say yes to this, but I'm going to try. Jabari, Brooks, Dylan Harper, and all these picks for Tatum. We got Jason freaking Tatum. Wow, I did not expect them to accept that right away. That's actually crazy. Welcome to Houston, Jason Tatum. You know what? I know, like I said, thinking about that right now, that does not seem plausible, but it's different, and I'm happy with it. This is different. I don't often get Tatum, so I think it's a nice change up, and we use our assets, I believe, very wisely, and we go all in on Jason freaking Tatum. Sign me up every freaking day. He fits perfectly next to Şengün as well. We're going to move Alex Sarr to center. We're going to figure out how we're going to do things now. So Alex Sarr is going to play the backup 5, so he's going to center. Jock Landale, Jason Tatum is right now probably going to be the power forward. I think he's going to have to play the 4 for us. Whitmore, Tari Eason is our 3, is totally fine. Jalen Green and Amen Thompson is our point guard. So I definitely think we go ahead and re-sign Fred VanVleet. Let's do that. So we're going to re-sign him. I don't want to give him that much money, but let's say it's like 20 over 2 years, something like that. Let's say we do something along the lines of that. So re-sign Fred VanVleet, and this should make us contender status right away. This should help out a ton. So, and we can sign like Kenyon Martin Jr. to be our backup 3, or backup 4, I should say. So we could do that. So yeah, or Aaron Wiggins as well. Or do we have the ability, we could sign Terrence Mann, or KCP, or Bruce Brown. Like, there's a lot of good options here. I'm going to get Isaiah Joe, though. I didn't see Isaiah Joe until now. I'm going to sign Isaiah Joe. That'll be our MLE, I believe. And that is our rotation now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I did not expect the C's to say yes to that. I'm very, very ecstatic with that. So just like that, Tatum, welcome to Houston. Amen Thompson's up to an 88. Şengün's an 89. Cameron Moore is 84. Tari Eason's up. Fred VanVleet is down, of course, which is why we didn't give him a long-term deal. But Dylan Harper goes to Boston along with Jabari Smith Jr. All those draft picks. We go all in. We reunite Ime Udoka with Jason Tatum. And, you know, this is the kind of trade I think the Rockets could be willing to make. Now, would it be for Tatum? Probably not. But, like, somebody, if, like, a top 5 guy somehow became available, I would not be, like, shocked if the Rockets were all over it. So, this is our new rotation. I'm very happy with it. If this team can't win a championship, I will obviously be heavily disappointed. Listen, like this season, I cannot wait to see how this goes. At the end of the season, Luka wins MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Naz Reid's your 6th-man Wemby Defensive Player, Nikola is your most improved, and Cameron Thomas Clutch Player, and Ime Udoka. As you can see, the Tatum trade seemed to work out as we won 62 games and we were very, very good in the regular season. So, hopefully this ends up working out. Did Tatum even make an All-NBA team for us? I don't think I saw his name. No, he did not. That's kind of surprising. That sucks, but oh well. And then we had Amin Thompson make an all-defensive second team. So he averaged 10, 7, and shooting got a little bit better, but nothing crazy. But we end up as the first team in the Western Conference. Take a look at the player stats. You had 25 from Tatum, 21 from Şengün, 19 from Jalen Green, 14 from Whitmore, 12 from Alex Sarr, 11 from Dari Easton, and 10, 7, and 7 from Amin Thompson, which is nice. So, being our, like, Draymond Green at point guard. But Whitmore's up to an 85 overall. I mean, like, this team is very, very good, guys. Like, I think this could be a championship season already. Let's go ahead and see if that does end up resulting in that or not. So let's go ahead. Somebody curve around against the Sacramento Kings. And we are going to beat them in 4. So off to a good start. And now we get the Utah Jazz. So we have George, Sexton, Markkanen, Kuminga, Walker Kessler, Collins, Taylor Hendricks, and Hugo Gonzalez. Somebody curve around against them as well. And we're going to beat them in 5. And now we get the dreaded Oklahoma City Thunder, who have Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, Nicholas Claxton signed there, Casey Wallace, Ace Bailey, and Isaiah Collier. Yeah, so far this isn't going good. 96 to 139. We're down 3 to 0. So let's go ahead and see if we can somehow come back from 3 to 0. But right now, it looks like we're about to get swept. So maybe the Tatum trade did absolutely nothing for us, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate. But 105 to 137, and we got the Thunder and the Hornets. We got the Thunder going on to win the championship. So we did eventually lose the team that went on to win it all, but obviously that doesn't matter. Now, I will say the one thing we have going for us is our team is only going to get better from here. We traded all the picks that we had, so we don't have draft picks to worry about here. Ime Udoka is still locked up. We got to sign a couple of coaches here, but other than that, we should be golden to run it back once again. So, I mean, we might have to re-sign a couple guys, but other than that, we're ready to roll. So, let's go straight to player options, and let's see if we can bring the roster back. Nasir Cunningham will accept, and then we'll accept all of those. Tari Easton is the only free agent that's that important to bring back, which I still do want to bring him back, of course. He wants $26 million. I don't want to lose him for nothing, but that is expensive. This team is only going to get more expensive, but our championship window is right now. I think we have to match it as much as I don't really want to pay him that much, but I think we had to. So we bring him back. Player progression, like I said, it should treat us even better this offseason, hopefully anyway. So let's go see what that turns into, and hopefully we can run it back again, and this time result in a championship. So Jalen Green's a 90. We have Şengün a 90. Sarr's an 87. Tarison's an 85. Whitmore's an 84. If Embiid is down, Isaiah Joe's down. So this team should win a ring. It should. It should. We got close last year. The Thunder stumped us. As it happens. It happens. The Thunder beat us. No big deal. Let's go straight to proficiency. 4.5 balance. Let's go ahead and see if we can come out here and beat the Thunder this time around. Well, I guess we got to get to the conference finals first. Let's do that. Let's make the playoffs first, then the conference finals, and then we'll see if the Thunder are even there. But I have full confidence this team is going to be a playoff team again, of course. But we'll go ahead and see how the regular season goes, and hopefully we can make it back to where we were. And this time, get over the hump. This season, we actually ended up winning 70 games on the dot. So if this team, which, by the way, Dylan Harper's turned into a stud in Boston, which that's not too surprising, but we traded off to try to go get a championship. Tatum, once again, this time does not make an All-NBA team, I don't believe. So, yeah, no Jason Tatum here once again. We do get, no, that's a Sarr. We don't get an all-defensive team either. So, okay, we're the first team in the West, though, at 70 and 12. So, here are your player stats once again. Obviously, none of this matters, man. Well, Thunder are on the other side of the bracket once again. We got to try to win a championship here. Grizzlies in round 1 who have John Morant, Desmond Bane. Hopefully, we can beat them, and we are going to beat them in 5. Now we get Denver, who I was like kind of talking about modeling my team after. Şengün, you got Baby Jokic, or Baby Jokic versus Jokic, if he's actually Baby Jokic, depending on your opinion. But somebody come out against them as well, and we are going to beat them in 5. And now we get the Oklahoma City Thunder, who beat us last year, and they've only gotten better. Ace Bailey's developed, Isaiah Collier's developed. So there's a chance we never take down this team, but here goes nothing. Game 1, 1-0 goes to them. I guess we're going to immediately go to Simcast right away because right now this is going to be very scary. We cannot go down, 3-0 to Oklahoma City or even 2-0, especially when we have home court. So let's see if we can even this series up at home and then maybe take one in their house. But right now it's looking like they're going to take this one. We took it back for a second, and we are going to win this one. So that's a huge W. We needed that in the worst way possible. All right, game 3 in Oklahoma City. If we could still win an OKC, we're back in this series as the event, bring back home court. But right now it looks like they are going to win this one. So they trade off, and they beat us this time around. Okay. Aim rotation. Tari Easton, for some reason, is cold. I can't afford you to be cold right now. We need you to be on fire. So let's see if we can come out here and take down the Thunder. In this one, we took the lead for just a smither of a second. We take it back, and we are going to go down 3-1 to Oklahoma City. So OKC right now is looking like a juggernaut that cannot be stopped, but we're down 3-1. We start off with a lead in the first quarter, but that doesn't mean a single thing here as we are going to lose once again to Oklahoma City. So 120 to 116. It looks like the Thunder may not allow this team to go win a championship. So Thunder going to win another ring. I think we give this one last final attempt here. I definitely think that's something we got to do. Boston gets one via Washington, and then we can go to staff signings. So Joe Mazzulla, Ime Udoka. I'm going to bring back Ime once again. I think he's still the right guy for the job. We just can't get over the Thunder hump. So let's go straight to player progression, or player options, rather. And then this team is about to get expensive once again. Alex Sarr, $15 million team option accepted. So you have Whitmore and Ahmed Thompson are both free agents, and all these other guys are free agents as well. Yeah, very expensive roster coming up. Fred VanVleet's a free agent, so I'm going to resign Ahmed Thompson, no-brainer. I'm going to resign Cameron Whitmore. So this team probably reaching its final ropes here. We're going to have to sign a backup guard, which I'm not doing. I mean, I could resign Fred VanVleet. Maybe that's probably just what we do. So yeah, I mean, he's probably the best player we can get, but man, we are reaching a cap limit. So I don't think we can resign him. I'll bring back Isaiah Joe, but Fred VanVleet is asking for way too much money. We're going to have to remove Fred VanVleet. I'll sign, like, Killian Hayes, I guess. Not my best option, but we'll do that. And that will be the offseason we go with. So we're going to run it back once again. 70 wins last year meant nothing. We lost to the Thunder again. We got to try to get over the hump here. Someone hopefully will beat the Thunder for us. That way we don't have to sweat them. Caldwell, who I guess was sleeping on, is probably going to be our new backup point guard. All right, man. Final season here. No matter what happens, let's run it back again, and let's see if this time around we get any luck going in our way. Another season comes to an end. I wonder, yeah, so we get another coach there under Ime Udoka. This time only 65 wins on the season. Still very impressive. Şengün actually makes All-NBA third team in this season, which is great to see. But here we go, man. Thunder on the other side of the bracket once again. Hopefully they get taken out by someone else, but we had 25 from Tatum, 23.5 from Jalen Green, 21 from Şengün, 16 and 8 from Alex Sarr. No matter what, this is the final season, so hopefully this results in what we want here. The Kings as a round 1 matchup, I mean, looking at the roster, we better not lose this team. Let's just say that. So we are going to sweep them. That makes sense. Okay, so the Thunder have gotten beaten, which is awesome. So we don't have to worry about the Thunder this year, which is great. And now we get the Spurs, so Wembanyama still very much a threat. But outside of Wemby, I'm not that intimidated by the roster, so hopefully that results in us getting a win over them. And, oh my gosh, we beat them in 7. Very, very close. Very, very close to losing. And now we got the Utah Jazz in the conference finals. So, the Thunder are gone. The Celtics make it. Dude, it would be kind of cinema if we played the Boston Celtics in the finals, by the way. But, well, let's see if we can beat the Jazz first. And we are in an even series. Can we please go to face the Celtics? That is cinema, bro. Beautiful way to end this video. Celtics Rockets. Tatum plays his former team. Dylan Harper, the team that gave up on him, I guess. Jabari Smith Jr., same thing. So yeah, we got ourselves a little bit of a crazy matchup here. Can Tatum get a championship over his former team? Game 1, 1-0, beat them by 40. Game 2, 2-0. Game 3, and it looks like we got it done. Oh, wait a minute. All right, we did it. So just like that, we finally get our championship. It only took the Thunder getting eliminated before we had to face them, but I'll take it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely a fun one, man. It took a while, but we got it done. But yeah, I'm going to end it on that note. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're going to do. But then, of course, as teams get eliminated, we'll be doing their offseason rebuild. So I'm sure we'll get some first-round teams eliminated. And then May 12th is a draft lottery, and then we'll do some prospects rebuilds, which this draft is going to be interesting because no one really knows where anyone's going because there's no, like, consensus #1 overall pick. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Thank you guys for watching, though. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.